Welcome to the MFR Coaches podcast, where we talk about how you can create a six-figure MFR practice. I'm your host, Heather Hommel. Not only have I been practicing MFR for 11 years, I'm also a life and business coach, especially for MFR therapists. My goal is for you to understand how to get fully booked, how to talk to your clients, and how to make sure they understand what's possible for them with MFR treatment. I'm here to help you stop under-earning, overworking, and burning out. I'll lend support so you can create the MFR practice you've always wanted. Learn how you can do it too, even if you live in a tiny town, and even if you're just starting out, and even if you've ran your practice for years. Let's go. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the MFR Coaches podcast. I am dealing with a cold right now, of course, so if I sound a little different, that's why. I'm going to do my best and wrap up the year with this episode 221. Can you believe it? I can barely believe that we've recorded this many episodes. I look back at when I started this podcast and I think, wow, what a body of work that has been created and what a body of work that I will have forever to look back on. All of these thoughts and all of these lessons that I've taught, and they will live on probably longer than I will, which is crazy to think about. When I started this business 4 years ago, I had no idea what I was creating and no idea how many people I was going to be able to help and no idea how much I would create in both courses and trainings and these podcast episodes. I work really hard to put out these shows that are informative and that will give you a little nugget that will help you to keep going or help you to solve a problem in your business or help you to see yourself or your business differently so you can make changes and go further and not stay stuck, right? I want you to feel like you have a friend out there that's working with you every day, or at least once a week when you listen to the podcast episodes. It's something that I really wished I had when I had my business. The whole point of the work that I do is to help MFR therapists grow, and not just grow in their businesses or in the amount of money that they make, but grow personally and professionally. And you grow so much when you become an MFR therapist, right? We can all remember the first seminar we were at, or the third seminar we were at, where that transition happened, where we weren't the same human that we were before we discovered MFR. And that right there is almost always a major life and business shift when we become an MFR therapist. But that's truly just the beginning, right? That transformation is just the beginning. I want you to realize how much more is truly possible for you when you don't stop with that very first shift, when you decide that that's just the tip of the iceberg and so much more is possible and waiting for you to harness it. If you notice any discomfort in your life right now, I want you to listen to that discomfort. I want you to lean into it. Feel that nudge. What would your life be like if you weren't struggling? What would your life be like if you were truly working in the hours that you wanted to be working in the space that you want to be working in, and making the money that you want to be making that supports not only the life you're living now, but your future life for the bigger things that you want that you don't even know that you want? Recently, I got an email from someone wondering if my program would work for them. And almost 100% of the time, the answer is yes, this program will work for you. But also, when you work with me, you're going to change. It's inevitable. The change is inevitable. So if you don't want to change, or you think differently or notice things that are no longer working for you, or if you're afraid to think differently or to notice things that are no longer working for you, then you probably don't want to work with me. The person who emailed in really liked the place where they're working, only they're extremely limited by the circumstances of where they live or where they work. They aren't allowed to charge more than any of the other people that work there. They're not allowed to sell packages. So basically, they're capped at whatever someone else tells them they're capped at. But they said they loved the space so much and they wanted me to help them get fully booked under those conditions, to which I said, I can totally help you. And you might decide that you want to do something different while we're working together. because I just cannot help being honest. And the facts of the matter is when you see things differently, or when you can see that what you think you like, you don't actually like, you might make a different choice and you might get completely uncomfortable knowing that you're going to make another choice. So I like to lay it all out on the table that when we work together, you're going to be thinking differently and you're going to notice where you're limiting yourself and also where other people in your life and business may be limiting you. And your expectations are going to change. Your tolerance level to being stuck is going to change. You'll have less of a tolerance for shitty situations. You won't think that that's normal anymore. You'll want to not be in that. And just because you love the room you practice out of, or you love the people that you work with, you might end up changing it. And not because anything has gone wrong, but simply because you've changed. And also, too, maybe because you've seen other people doing it. Because in the room that I create for you inside my programs, you see other people working less hours than you, making more money and having more fun because they can. You will want that too. Of course you will. I want you to want that for yourself. I want you to think bigger, to choose the bigger thing. Before that comes, though, you have to put yourself in the path of the change. You have to imagine that you could be doing something different or that something else is possible. Kind of like this person that emailed in. They can see that something else is possible for them. They want to be fully booked. They think if they get fully booked in those parameters, they will feel successful and they will be happier. And of course they will, because if they're fully booked, they'll be making more money. They'll be, fully booked, so they'll feel successful. But then they will feel how limited they are. Right? The only reason they don't feel limited now is because they're not fully booked. I just want people to know that after observing 180 therapist businesses, after working with 180 businesses, when you put yourself into a room with people that are doing great things, some people are going to be pissed that they're not where the other people are. For some people, it's extremely difficult to see people ahead of you and to not make that mean that you're somehow never going to get there. And I just want for people that happens to know that I see you and I understand that that's going to be part of your process. And to me, it's really not a problem. But for the people that are going through that and they see other people succeeding and they make it mean that they're behind, and they want to quit, it's very painful to observe that quitting period of time because you want to be somewhere that you're not, and you think that it needs to happen fast in order for it to be working, in order for it to be successful. Only there's really no way to know how long someone else has been at this, has been working towards their dream, has been trying to actualize their dream. And I've coached some people all 4 years of this business that I've had open, right? Or close to 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, right? And some people are brand new. And where you are when you're brand new coming into coaching and where you are a year into coaching are two totally different places, especially if you are working the program the whole time and you're showing up for yourself and you're doing the process, you're doing all of the work and you're asking for help and you're not staying stuck and you're not throwing yourself a pity party the whole entire year, right? You're actually doing something instead of staying where you're at. And I want everyone to succeed. I want everyone to take seeing other people's success to mean and to show you what is possible, to make it make you want it too, instead of decide that it's too hard to get there because you're not there on day one. I can't make you see that though. And sometimes that's just like the painfulest part of my job. The human experience of not believing in yourself enough to allow for the discomfort and to allow for the journey to get where you want to go. So we have also the human experience of believing in yourself enough to be uncomfortable enough to see what you're made of. And that is a journey in and of itself. Some people won't make it. They'll quit. They don't want to change, right? They just want to stay where they're at, stay in the cave. And they won't take actions towards their dreams. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just hard when I know that that's a lie, right? When you sign up for coaching, I know that there is a glimmer in you. There is some sort of dream for you to realize, and for you to not take action towards it or to stop at just joining is sad for me. I want to see you make it. So, what is available for you, and what happens when you do believe in yourself enough and you allow all the discomfort for as long as it takes for you to go for it, to get to the goal, to get fully booked, to create a 6-figure plus business? Well, that, my friends, is where all of the magic is, right? Thanks for tuning in today. Before we wrap up, I want to take a moment to remind you that my Foundations program is still open for enrollment, and we're keeping the doors open until every spot is filled. I get that life's been extra busy lately between the election, family, holidays, everything else we juggle as entrepreneurs. It can be easy to put your goals on the back burner. As a mom of 3 and a business owner, I totally get it. I see you. But here's the thing. If you're ready to get fully booked in 2025, to turn those valuable myofascial release skills into a true revenue generating practice, there's no better time to start. The Foundations program is 12 months of support designed to help MFR therapists just like you reach their fullest potential. This program is specifically crafted for those of you who want to move beyond trading hours for dollars and build a practice that truly supports your life goals. We're talking about a step-by-step path to get booked out and fully realize the business potential of the training you've already invested in. And for those of you who've been in business for years, when you join, we will adjust the business you already have to ensure you aren't under-earning and are getting the most out of your business by making it even easier to save you time and generate more money. You'll get weekly support, accountability, and proven strategies to help you succeed. And I'm sending all enrollees a little extra thank you gift, so you'll be set up with everything you need. The investment is $3,000 for the entire year. That's for 12 months of support, resources, and growth opportunities, and the best community. I can't wait to support you and watch your practice flourish. So if you've been hesitating, let this be your sign. Join us now, and let's get you on the path to a fully booked and thriving 2025. Go to www.themfrcoach.com/foundation for all the details and to enroll now. We'll see you there. It's that journey that you go on while believing in yourself enough and while also allowing for it to be uncomfortable. That is how you fail forward and you create the business that you are going to have. You're not just recreating more of the same of what you already have. You are making a magical change that is going to set you on a path for what is possible. And the other question is, can you be okay with where you're at right now while you're trying to create the next thing for yourself and your business? Because it's going to take you reminding yourself that things are actually okay where you are. They're just not where you want to be, right? That nothing's going wrong and that you're capable of having your own back and doing what is required to create this change. You can still be kind to yourself and love yourself and your business right where you're at on the journey, and have the audacity to change and to believe that more is possible. When I think back to when I closed my MFR business and decided to shut it all down, there was this period of time between then and when I started coaching school, right? It was like this zone of, I have no idea what I just did and what I'm going to be doing, but this feeling in my body of excitement and determination and a little bit of delusion and a lot of audacity, right? A lot of things are going to be okay. And what did I just do? So it's like you're on the verge of like a very scary time, knowing that it's just the beginning. And this was really before I knew anything about coaching or what it was going to take for me to coach other people, who I was going to need to believe I was, and the confidence I was going to have to create for myself in order to put myself out there and be like, oh, hey, everybody, you know me in this community as an MFR therapist. And now I'm going to say, I can help you create a six-figure business. Like, who in the hell was I to even say that I could do that? And now I've done that for many, many people. So we know that it's true. But I had to think it was true before I had ever even created a six-figure business owner, which is wild, right? I've looked around a lot this year at where we limit ourselves, where we are pulling each other down or keeping ourselves stuck, where we don't expose ourselves to what is possible. And this happens when we don't dream out loud, when we don't share our dreams with other people because we're afraid that they're going to tell us it's not possible, or where we are so fragile about our dreams that if we do share it and someone says it's not possible, we believe them. When we really worry about what other people are going to say or think. And I have to tell you that the only person that really matters for as far as what you do or what you believe in or where you're going with your business, the only real person that matters is you and your belief in yourself and your unwavering ability to be with yourself and know that even if you do fail, all of the fails are going to push you further along instead of set you back. I think most of us are so afraid to fail because we think that it means we'll have to stop or that we've done something wrong. And when you can look at failing as just trying something out and learning and then doing something again, and you will have a little bit of success then, or maybe you'll fail again before you get to the successful part. But it just takes time and it takes your willingness to learn and to have that input that the failure provides for you so that you can keep going forward. But when we don't talk out loud and we don't share our dreams, no one else can root for us either. So while there might be people that say you're crazy or you should be careful or that's not going to work out for you, there's going to be a lot of other people that will stand on the sidelines and cheer for you, that will call you and ask you how you're doing. And if you can't find those people in your life, I want you to know that I'm that person for you. I cheer for everyone. Every single person that joins my program, I see them as a six-figure plus business owner the minute their name comes across my computer screen that I know they've joined. I start visualizing that for them. I want to know everything about your business. I want to know every complication that you are having so that we can uncomplicate it. So just know that there are people out there that you can talk to, and really determining who those people are and who they aren't is going to be important. So, for instance, when I first started changing, I had a certain set of friends, and some of them I could share these hopes and dreams and aspirations and my delusions with, and some I could not. And I just quickly figured out who I could and couldn't share with. And I just started to surround myself with more of the people that were supportive. And lo and behold, like the people that weren't supportive, while some of them are still in my life, a lot of them are not. And that might sound sad or depressing, but it's actually a good thing, because when you look around, if your circle of people are keeping you stuck or keeping you small, you need to break away from that. You need to make space for yourself so that you can grow and expand and make new friends and have new connections with people that will support you. So I just want you to know that while that might seem very scary and painful, and it is painful, right, to lose people in your life, but more is also always available to you. And it's not like you're going to run out of friendships or run out of people. You just look for the people that you jive with, that fill you up, and that allow you to be yourself, allow you to be delusional and have audacity and be crazy and want to do crazy things, right? Look for those people. A big thing is knowing what's possible, knowing that it's possible to see less patients and make more money. And when we don't know that it's possible, we just don't know what we're missing out on, right? Kind of like, how much money are you currently missing out on charging the rate that you're charging, and not knowing how to set that rate at a rate that supports you. And this kind of takes me back to the idea that we tell ourselves we don't need to make money because maybe our partner is a breadwinner, or you're just telling yourself you're really good at being frugal or living small, or you just really don't need a lot. And I want you to question, how does living small serve you? And how does it serve the world? And really answer that question, because when you stop lying to yourself, and a lot of these things we tell ourselves that keep us small really are just lies we tell ourselves. But when you stop lying to yourself about these things, you really do start to think about how having more and creating more options makes your world bigger, gives you more choices. It really expands your ability to, you could just fill in the blank, right? For me, having a bigger business and helping more people and doing the work that I'm doing now has allowed me to travel more, to help my kids with college, to have a bigger savings, to have more investments. Like all of those things I really never knew were possible for me. When we were first starting out, I alluded to this earlier, but I think it's helpful to have a lot of audacity and even some delusion. And I think over time, while you're building your business and you're feeling more secure in it, you're feeling better in it, I think we lose some of our audacity and some of the delusion that comes at the beginning. When you're at the beginning, you decide things will work out for you and you go for it, knowing that you're kind of willing to put it on the line and submit yourself to failure and rejection to get where you want to go, because you're just seeing how it's going to work out. And this is how I felt at that transition period between closing my business and starting to become a coach. Like there was a lot of delusion involved in that process. And I'm so thankful for it. I'm so thankful that my brain was working in that way, and that created a lot of creativity for myself and a lot of ideas. That's when I wrote my book. That's when I decided to start the podcast. Like all of these ideas came from that audacity, that delusion that everything would just work out and that I had things to say and things to do. And I also kept putting myself in the line of failure and rejection to get where I wanted to go. And I think sometimes we're growing our businesses and we get in this like comfort zone and we stop doing that. We stop risking rejection. We stop feeling delusional because we have to get practical and we have to really focus and buckle down and stay in the line so that we don't lose what we have built, right? And that can be really scary, a scary place to be. So I would like to sprinkle in more audacity and more delusion so that business is a little bit more fun. When I think about if I didn't start this business, coaching MFR therapists, I think about all the value I would have missed out on putting into the world and all the value that the people I have helped have put into the world. It's a really big ripple effect. And think about what that is for you. What business or personal move are you sitting on right now that you don't want to be sitting on this time next year? Like, what do you want to have had accomplished by this time next year? What is different if you don't sit on it and you take the action and you go for it? What are we celebrating a year from now at the end of 2025? Really look to your future self. What are they the most proud of you for the decisions that you are going to make next, right now? Here are some of the things I'm going to be celebrating throughout 2025. I don't know if this is going to take me the whole year. Once I have an idea, I tend to execute it. So my goal is to be celebrating serving over 300 MFR therapists, business owners that I have helped, and then helping those that I serve in their MFR businesses to hit collectively over $10 million in MFR sales. I hope to have written and published my second book. I'm going to take a 2 or 3 week vacation for sure. And then I have some projects I'm working on these are done deals. Like these are happening in the next 30 to 60 days. And that's going to be releasing the MFR Coaches Legal Toolbox. So look for that to be available so that all of you can get your businesses and websites in compliance. I'm going to be releasing the MFR Coaches Therapist Network. So more people can find therapists all over the US and Canada with ease. And I'll give you all the details on these things when they're ready. We're really close to releasing that network and launching the toolbox. So that's really, really fun. And I think I can safely say that those things will be out February or March, the latest. And then there's some other things on the horizon. I'm going to be teaching Raise Your Rate, and we're also going to call it Set Your Rate Bootcamp. And this will be live and in March, and it will be updated material. It's going to be a paid course that you can join and have 6 months of continued access to. It will be a low price point compared to my other coaching products. And it's going to be loaded with the latest training and teaching on rates and how to deal with challenges of setting a rate that will help you to not burn out and never under earn. So make sure if you are not on my email list that you get on the email list so you don't miss out on any of the communication for that. And I'll also be talking about it on the podcast. And then for any of you that are listening that are alumni of my coaching programs, either one-on-one coaching or any program that you went through, make sure you also are on my email list so you don't miss out when I release the network. I'm going to be giving everyone I've coached a free year listing on the network. And that just improves your searchability by having a listing on the network. And you're going to get great referrals from our amazing community of other therapists who have all been through coaching and have created amazing practices. So you will have that comfort of knowing when you give that referral out that they've been through coaching, and you'll have an idea of how they run their practice, which is really, really fun. So if you've had your eye on joining my programs, Foundations is now open to join. You can go to www.themfrcoach.com/foundation. We have monthly onboarding calls now that will direct you to all of the assets included in the program and allow you to jump right into coaching and get the most out of the program right away. Plus, I'm sending everyone who joins an MFR Coach t-shirt while supplies last. So that is super fun too. I hope that you will take some time today and lay out what you want to be celebrating on this day at the end of 2025. Will you decide that things are fine and just stay how you are? Or will you allow yourself to have some discomfort and take action and grow? And what does that mean for you? And what does that look like? Make your plan. Look into all of the things that are possible for you and surround yourself by other people that are doing big things. It matters. It matters for the course of the lifetime of your business and what is possible for you. And of course, my goal is for you to never under earn, never burn out, and never feel like you're at the mercy of whatever your clients do or say to you. I want to help you to make your business be the easiest part of your day and your week. So then you can spend the rest of your time living your life and having fun or doing whatever you want to do. So as we close 2024, I just want to thank everyone who listens to the podcast and spends time with me. Maybe we go on walks together. I'm not sure, but I appreciate you. And I do these episodes for you. I'm constantly thinking about ideas for how to help you next. So if you have ideas for something you'd like to see on the podcast, feel free to send me an email. You can email me at clientcare@themfrcoach.com and just say podcast idea in the subject line and give me your ideas. If you'd like to be on the show, you have something to share, you can email me there as well. That's clientcare@themfrcoach.com. I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's, and I'll see you next week on another episode of the MFR Coaches podcast. Take care for now. Bye. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed today's episode, please take a minute and rate and review the podcast. I appreciate it. For more information, please follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The MFR Coach. And check out my website, www.themfrcoach.com, for more information. If you are currently not working 20 hours or less and making six figures in your MFR business, I want to help you change that. Make sure you tune into the show and get on my email list so you never miss out on important trainings and information. To be the first to find out when we are enrolling next for my 12-month Business Foundations coaching program, get on that email list at www.themfrcoach.com/join. Inside this program, you'll learn how to raise your rate, overcome objections, and sell MFR. You'll become the MFR therapist that never under-earns and never burns out. It's up to us to make MFR mainstream, and it starts with you and your successful MFR practice. See you next week.